Hello everyone, this is the Prashant Chaudhary. I welcome you all to my channel Classic Power. This is the second video of Power Automate Beginner series. In the first video, we have covered how we can actually comes to the Power Automate screen. Using the link, you can get that link in the description of my first video. In the second, we'll talk the type of the flows and the explanation on the basis of what those flows are actually categorized. So let's just start it. I'm just navigating to my screen. So here we are on the home screen of this Power Automate. We have this side menu and we have the top menu where we can select our environment where we are actually creating our flow, and we have the side menu as well. In the side menu we have this my flows, create, and the template. My flows where all your flows which are either created by you or or the flow are shared with you, all would be visible. The second one is the create, from where you can actually create the flows, and the third one is the template, where you will find a lot of template that can be utilized to make your flow. You need to just the flow would be already created, you need to just configure as per your need and it would be ready. So let's get started. Let's go to the create section. Here we have this five type of flows: automate, instant, schedule, desktop, and the business process flow. So let's understand each one by one. Okay, so I'm just opening one notepad for you so that it would be good if you we can write the explanation. Okay, yes. Now we first our is the automate cloud flows. Automated automated cloud automated flows. But let's understand in that case, suppose you want your system to be like whenever any email comes to your Outlook, it simply fetch the attachment and store to any of your cloud storage. At the time you don't need any type of user interaction or any type of manual work. You need your system to do that work for you. So in that case we would proceed with the automate type of flows. Or I can also give you one more example. Let's understand on the creation of any item in any list. You want to be notified on your email whenever any item would be inserted, whenever an item is created in the list. At a time you want to be notified, means you should get one email. Okay, so that time or two you don't want any person to send you that mail. Okay, one item is created, so that's why we are sending you the mail. You want your system to be smart enough to send you that mail in that case. So where you don't need any type of user interaction. Okay, but there would be any event trigger at in any of your cloud story or any other platform that can be used. Okay, so those flows comes under automated type of flows. So if I go with the definition, I can say where we don't need direct user interaction. Like in the first case we said, when the new email arrived, you want that attachment to be saved in your OneDrive folder. Okay, so you don't want your any person to do this work for you. You want your system to do this work for you. So you can create any flow. That flow would be triggered. See, every flow has the trigger portion and the body portion. That trigger portion would define what type of flows it is. Okay, so how the first connector would be triggered. This is really on the basis of what we are doing this categorization. So automate type of flows are those flows which do not require user direct interaction. It would be triggered when any event happens. That's it. Like when the email arrives to your mailbox, a event is triggered. Any event happens that yeah, you got that email. Okay, and your flow will be triggered. Now another one, we have the instant flow. Instant flow are those flows which are triggered by the user, which needs to be triggered manually. You can also see it is already written there that triggered manually as needed, means user need to trigger that flow, then only that flow will be triggered. It would not be automatically created, automatically triggered. User needs to click, user need to do some action, or user need to click any button, or user need to do something so that that flow will be triggered. Okay, so we can conclude that it needs users to call them or trigger them. So these are those flows which would be triggered from the user side. Okay, so now the next one we'll see, we have the scheduled flows. Let's take up to this side. Scheduled scheduled flow. So these are those flows that is actually the combination of automate type and the instant type. How, why I'm saying that this is a combination of these two? Because scheduled flows are those flows which actually do not require user interaction, but they are triggering at a particular time. If you want something to be happen at any time, at a particular time, at a time, you can create some schedule type of flow that would be triggered at a particular time, and it would make your work done. Let's say you need to sync, let's say you have two different tables and you want those two tables to be synced, completely synced. Okay, so what you can do, you can simply create one scheduled flow that would trigger every morning at 6. Okay, at morning at 6 a.m. that flow would be triggered and it would simply sync your two different lists. Okay, so that type of flows comes under the schedule flow, means those flows that would be triggered automatically but at a particular time, not at every time. It would be at a particular time. Okay, so we can say it runs or trigger at a particular time. Okay, you can change that timing as well. It would be triggered and you can also do other stuffs as well. Now the fourth one, we have the desktop flows. So desktop flows are those flows that are actually not created from here. You need to install the Power Automate desktop application in your system, and those desktop flows are actually the big version of the Power Automate flows, the cloud flows, I would say, the big version of the cloud flows, because desktop flows can cover maximum stuffs of the RPA development. RPA means it's robotic process automation stuffs, because it can all, because see, cloud flows are only restricted to the cloud places, cloud platforms, but desktop flows can also work inside your desktop as well. So that's why we can say that desktop flows are the bigger version of the cloud flows somewhere. Okay, so we can say it needs to develop the desktop application, or that we can write RPA development. Cloud flows also comes under RPA development, but desktop are more accurate to justify that definition. Okay, now next one we have this business process flow. Business process flow. So business process flow, actually this the fifth one, this business process flow is actually the part of this dynamics, this concept is actually coming from the dynamic, where let's understand the case of the HR team. When the candidate, this is the procedure when the candidate will be converted into the employee. Okay, so first the candidate record were entered in the system. After that, the interviews would be scheduled. After that, the onboarding would be there, and after that, the candidate become the employee of the organization. So there would be four stages. So we can use the business process flow in order to tell user who's actually operating the system, who's actually working on the system, to tell the user that on what stage your present record is right now. Okay, let's say user has inserted any candidate record in the system, so he can see that the business process flow is showing that the 25% work is done. Now when the interviews would be done, then after that the business process flow would show the 50% work is done. When the onboarding also done, the business process will show the 70%, 75% work is done. That's how you can see on what how much work is already done and how much processes are there in order to complete your complete stages of the work. Okay, so this concept would be in the dynamics. Okay, so you this concept you'll find these type of process flows in the model driven applications. Okay, so this is the, I would say, the part of dynamics dynamics which tells the current stage of any record under the process. Means if any process is designed, if any process is already designed by the organization, then user can see on at what stage, on how much progress he has already completed with the particular record. Okay, so in that case we will proceed with the business process flows. Okay, so that is all in this video, everyone. So you find this definition in the description of this video as well. Okay, so stay tuned, guys. Let's meet in the third video. We'll understand each and every flow in detail and we'll create the flow as well.